FlossTube. My name is Becca and I'm Sambry Stitches here on FlossTube and Instagram. And this is another special edition of Interview with a FlossTuber. Today I'm here with a very special guest. This is Kathleen. Her channel is Stitchuation Normal and it's absolutely an amazing channel. She's always so cheerful and upbeat and smiling all the time. And she stitches beautiful pieces, but I also love how she kind of goes down rabbit holes and tells stories and stuff like that, which is, it's really fun and it makes it a lot more of a personal channel to enjoy. So if you're not familiar with Kathleen's channel, I will put the link down below so you can go and check her out. But I'm super excited to interview her today. So how are you doing today, Kathleen?
I'm good. I just licked my teeth to make sure there wasn't lipstick on them because there was in my first floss tube ever. So
I just
remembered that.
Had lipstick on her teeth too. So you're in good company.
In good company. I like
Yes.
that. That's good. Yes. No,
right.
I'm good.
Good. So we'll get started and jump into some questions.
Awesome.
The first one is, why did you start a floss tube and were there any particular motivations?
Okay, so I started a floss tube because I wanted to document my stitch journey. So I'm a brand new stitcher, basically, and I also had some creative pent-up energy, so I wanted to try it. It seemed like the best way to get involved in a community is to participate, so I thought, okay, I'm gonna jump in. I'm probably the least qualified person to do so, but I have learned so much just from doing it, and I have so many stitch friends. So then you have the stitch conversations and then you learn more and more and more. So it was kind of one of those, I just wanted to emerge myself. No, there's a word there. That
I think it's
immerse. It was, okay. Yeah. We hit record and I just doubt myself every time, but yes, I wanted to just immerse myself in it. And I'm glad I did because I love it. I love the community. I love stitching. And then of course I get to be sort of creative. I have a lot to say. And as you mentioned in the intro, the rabbit holes. Yes. So I have not a lot of people to talk to because we're on lockdown. So I talk your ears off, the viewers' ears off.
They appreciate it though. They, I enjoy it. I sit there and stitch and I feel like I'm just having, a stitchy time with just a friend. So
someone once left a comment. They're like, you talk too fast. And I was like, I do. And I took it as a compliment. I was like, I'm a Gilmore girl. I'm like, I've done it. I've talked too much and I talk too fast. I was like, yes.
That's what
I didn't tell them that though. But
perfect. Yeah.
Yes.
And they can slow you down. I think they can
that too.
So
a couple of my girlfriends, they're brats. I have some really bratty girlfriends and they put my video on super slow motion and we couldn't stop laughing.
I need to go do that. I've never done that. I need to see what it's actually like.
It sounds deep. It's a deep voice. Yeah.
And turn it on really, really super fast and see if we sound like chipmunks or something like that.
Yeah. I gotta check. I haven't checked that one out. It was the slow-mo that they did for me, of course.
That's funny. Well, I'll have to go check that out. But
yeah.
So the next question is just a subscriber question, and they were just wondering if you have a blog.
No, I don't. But if I did, I don't think it would be a cross-stitch blog because I do the floss tube, of course. But my sister is constantly telling me I need to make a TV and movies blog because I watch a lot. And again, that kind of ties into why I love cross-stitching because it combines my two passions. I am such a TV lover and movie lover. And I basically, when I got a job, my first job when I was 14, I bought movies and DVDs. Right. That's what I spent my paychecks on. And I watched everything. I was my own Netflix and I was the Netflix for the neighborhood. And if anyone wanted to watch anything, I had it. And yeah, I love movies. So I don't know how we got to I love movies, but
well, that's
what was the question?
Future question.
What was the question again?
But yeah, that would be kind of neat to do a blog on that because
the blog.
Looking for blogs still.
But I do it on my Facebook. I think that's the problem is I use my Facebook as my own blog and I write a lot. I do a lot of writing. And again, if I was to do a blog, I would probably do more of a writing one, maybe a TV movie one, but I write a lot about maybe controversial things, current events, that type of thing.
Okay.
And I share that on my Facebook. And I had one thing that I wrote about go, I want to say locally viral, because it had to do with something local here in Ontario, and it had, I think, just over 5K shares on Facebook. So I don't know how many people saw it, but that's how many people shared it.
That's good for Facebook.
Yeah.
Or just like a post that you weren't intending to, go crazy, but that's
No,
crazy.
I wasn't, but it was something that was important to me. So that's, if I were to have a blog, that's what it would be about. Probably would just be me writing about things that I'm passionate about.
Yeah, just kind of your opinions on things. That's
Yes,
nice.
yes.
Is your Facebook, is it obviously public then?
It
Or-
is private, but I share certain things. I talk about mental health issues, women's issues. I make those ones public because people seem to like to share those ones. So I do that, but
Cool.
yeah.
Cool. Because I think that means if you're public, they don't have to friend request you. I think they can still
No.
see your posts, right?
Yeah, and they can follow, which I didn't know
Yeah.
back then, but I know about that now. I now allow people to follow me. So
Well, then maybe the viewers
Yeah.
can go and check out and see kind of what you're passionate about other than stitching, which is kind of neat. So
yeah.
So we'll get into the next question, and it's, how did you learn to stitch and how long have you been stitching?
Okay, so when I was probably 6 or 7, my mom taught me how to cross stitch, and I started a mermaid. It was from a leisure arts leaflet, and I never finished it. And then when I was 18, I thought, I'm going to do this. This looks fun. I remembered my mom doing it, and I started another piece, and I did not finish it. It's a cheeky piece. You can hear the full story, I guess, on my first FlossTube about that cheeky piece, but I never finished that one. And then I guess at 30 years old, I decided I was going to do it. And I did a tiny, it's probably this big, little reindeer brooch that was in a Cross Stitcher magazine. And that was my first finish. And that was in March or April of this year. I think it was April. I think I finished it in April. And then I couldn't stop after that. After that first little reindeer brooch, it was all over. Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah. So you're pretty much fairly a really newer stitcher then.
Yeah.
Nice. That's
Yep.
great.
Well, that's even when I made my Instagram to like get into the scene of all the charts and everything. I was like, I had like 7 friends, and then it has grown so much from there. So
Yeah.
it's beautiful. The community is beautiful.
It is. Our community is amazing. I say that in almost every interview because it always comes up that it's just, it blows my mind. It really is just amazing. So the next one is a fun one. It's, what is your favorite project or projects, if you have multiple, that you've stitched?
Okay, so I just loaded all my whips onto Instagram, or not my whips, my finished pieces from the year. So, and I forgot some of the ones that I had done. So it's fresh in my mind. My favorite one was by Little Dove Designs, and it was Home for Christmas. I just loved that one. It was,
I love that one, yeah.
I just loved all the different, there was like the different rows, and I'll send a picture that you can insert of it because I have it, but it's a little too far away. But anyways, it was fun, and it brought the Christmas spirit, and it just, I don't know, I loved it. The other one was Mr. Bones in the Garden. That was another favorite. That was on black Aida I did glow in the dark for the bones, and I did white étoile for the garden part. So it's just a black and white piece. But I just love it. That's by Dark Crosses.
Yeah, I think you've shown that one. I think I've seen that one too. Yeah, I like that one.
Those were my favorites probably, but I have some favorites that I'm not done. So like I wouldn't consider them favorites because I don't know until I finish.
Yeah. Well, that's always like stitched maybe so far is what I'll have to add on.
So far. Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Nice. So what do you enjoy most about stitching?
It's something in my brain. It feels like it's like a Sudoku puzzle. It's like doing a regular puzzle. It feels satisfying in my brain, and it's therapeutic. It's relaxing. Basically, with the lockdown, with COVID, with everything, I had to give up kickboxing, which was something that I did 3 to 4 times a week. And that lowered my anxiety like crazy. So I needed to fill that time, and I found cross stitching very calming and helped with my anxiety. And again, like I like to watch a lot of stuff, so it's nice to keep my hands busy while I'm doing that, and also be creating and making and that type of thing.
Nice. Yeah, it is a very, very calming just hobby to have. My youngest daughter tried kickboxing, can't even talk for a while
Yeah.
due to her anxiety, and it helped quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
I totally get how not being able to do that
Yeah.
kind of hurts a person.
I miss it. I almost wore my sweater, my kickboxing sweater, and I was like, it's too much. It's too much.
Would not have been too much.
It's like bright red. I'm like, it's too much.
No, I think
maybe I'll wear it in a floss tube. We got to support local.
I would.
Yeah.
We're going to get out of stitching just a little bit, and this is probably going to be one of your favorite questions. It's, what's your favorite genre of book or movie?
Okay. So movies and TV, I watch anything and everything, really. There's no limit on that. With books, I can't read fiction. I have to read nonfiction. And I read self-help books. I read true crime, not too much true crime because I'll get the nightmares and I don't want the nightmares. I did read one, just finished it before the end of the year, which was Michelle McNamara's I'll Be Gone in the Dark.
Okay.
And I had to read that one rather quickly because I was waking up in the night checking to see if someone was trying to break in or, it was, but I couldn't finish. I couldn't stop. I had to finish it. So I did read that one, but not too much true crime. Mostly like self-help, biographies, that type of thing. That's what I enjoy reading.
Nice. Well, that's always a sign of a good book if you are like, it's scaring you and waking you up at night, but you can't stop reading.
Yeah, I had to know. And the sad thing is she passed away before she finished writing it.
Oh, wow.
But she's very instrumental in them finding who this serial killer was, all because of her and her research and her community that she created essentially with her blog and her commitment to this that no one was talking about. So it was a great read for sure.
Well, if anybody's looking for a new book, maybe they should go check that out. That sounds actually really interesting.
I will say the best part. Okay, so I hate spoilers of any kind. I don't like spoilers in books, movies, like even on a commercial for an upcoming show. I'm like, no, I don't want to see it. So the best part about having read the book 2 years after it came out was being able to, so at the end of the book, you don't know who it is. Oh. And then I was able to Google it because they have since found out who it was very much because of this woman. So that was the most satisfying. 2 a.m. when I finished the book, like just Googling it and being able to find out. That was the best part.
That is so cool. Oh, that's so interesting. I'm the same way though. If I'm watching a show and then it says, it'll show like the upcoming episode little.
Yeah.
I don't watch that either because I don't want to know.
I hate unsolved mysteries. So the fact that I didn't know after finishing the book, but I could find out by Googling it, I was like, yes. I mean, I do watch the show Unsolved Mysteries. I do like that show, but I just want to know.
Drives you crazy. Yeah.
I need to know everything. I'm so snoopy.
Well, that's a good thing though. Not necessarily snoopy, but
I like garage sales because I like snooping through people's things.
Oh yeah, you're a Goodwill.
Oh yes, I do like thrifting.
So am I.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh, you've had some good finds. There was a haul maybe a month or 2 ago that I was like, oh, that's a good haul you got.
You find some good stuff at Goodwill, so I'm right there with you. Maybe I'm snoopy too then, because I like.
Yeah.
We don't have as many garage sales here.
Right.
As they used to years ago, but
yeah,
it's always fun. All right. This is kind of a fun one. It's, what fictional place would you most like to go to?
I would say probably Stars Hollow, right? Like, I'm sure that's got to be the most popular one because it just seems so charming, right? It's almost like Niagara on the Lake. Like, I grew up near Niagara on the Lake, and I want to say Stars Hollow is kind of like that. Maybe Niagara on the Lake's maybe slightly bigger, but same kind of vibe. Yep. I don't know. It's the community, right? I think I have a thing for community. I want to feel part of something.
Yeah, I recently binge watched that. And Gilmore Girls, and it really is. I love that you can just walk through like the little main street and everyone knows you and they're all friends, and we actually wanted to settle where my husband's from in Midland, Michigan, and they're kind of like a little small town where everybody kind of knows everybody. And we had lived there for a year and absolutely loved it. So I totally get that. I would be right there with you in Stars Hollow.
Now, here's my question for you about Stars Hollow. Yeah. Well, it doesn't have to be Stars Hollow, but the Gilmore Girls universe. Now, who's your crush in the universe there?
I'm not good with remembering names, but the guy that plays Sam on Supernatural. I can't remember his name.
Dean? Is it Dean?
No, Dean is his brother, but Sam.
Oh,
Is his name Dean in the?
his name is Dean
Oh
in
my
Gilmore
gosh!
Girls. Yeah,
I'm not good with names because I
that's so
watched
funny.
it, but
Yeah,
that's funny
he's so
because he's
cute.
his brother in Supernatural.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I'm a big fan of Rory's dad. That's my guy.
Ooh, yeah.
I don't know. Something about him.
I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's.
And he was on Friends briefly too, like one episode maybe, but
Oh.
I know because reasons.
I love Friends. That was like my big
Yes.
thing in high school. My little group, of the four of us, we were different Friends characters, and it was just, I don't know.
Love it. Well, see, so we're watching it right now, and my husband and I are like, okay, who are we? And he was like, you're a mix of Chandler and Ross. And I was like, what? Like, can you even do that?
I think that's the coolest mix, though.
I guess maybe, and he's not wrong. There's a lot there, so it's just fun being like, who are you? Which Friends character are you? And all, But I wasn't allowed to watch it when I was younger. My mom banned that one. We were allowed to watch Simpsons, but not Friends. There was some weird banning. I also wasn't allowed to watch Goosebumps. So
wow, I mean,
or Power Rangers
versus Friends. I don't know. I think the Friends is the safer one on that one.
Yeah, I think it might be, but now it's a cartoon, so maybe that's why it slid.
Maybe. Whoa, I don't know.
I had good parents. Hi, Mom.
We all have our things as parents of what we do. So.
Oh, for sure. I love it. I love reflecting.
All right. So if you could choose to do anything for a day, what would it be?
Okay. And this is going to be so basic, but I just want to go swimming. I just love the days where you can just swim all day. But like not in like a busy area, like like someone's house. Like if I had a pool, that would be my ideal day, is just swimming in the pool. Okay. I just love floating. I don't know. I grew up with a pool and I was in it like a fish. And like so we know I have that TV addiction I talked about before.
Yeah.
So on Fridays, I watched TGIF growing up.
Yep, me too.
Right?
Yep.
And so I would angle my parents' TV out the window so I could be in the pool and watch it up in their window. And I would crank it so loud and everyone was annoyed, but because I just didn't want to leave the pool. So I don't know. I have a thing for swimming. And I love swimming.
Is it just the pool, or do you swim in like lakes and oceans too?
I'll swim in the lake. I mean, the ocean wasn't super fun one time I swam in the ocean, but yeah, I love water. Yeah. A bath. I'll have a bath. That's my ideal day. If I can't have a pool, I guess I'll just have a bath.
Yeah, that works. Candles, bath.
Yeah, that's relaxing. You can read in there. Yeah.
Something quiet. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. All right. So do you happen to have any other hobbies besides cross stitch?
So I mentioned kickboxing. I love kickboxing. I'm a photographer. That is another hobby of mine. It's another, I was late to the game of learning about creativity, I guess, or like what it can do for you. Mm-hmm. So I never thought I was creative because my handwriting is horrible, and same as my art. Like I can't draw things, or I don't know. I never thought of myself as a creative. I play the piano, I play the cello poorly. And that was like the only creative outlet that I had, really. And I still do play the piano probably every day. I tinker. And I do love playing the piano, but I'd like to take lessons again. My mom, she had us all, there's 6 of us, we all took piano lessons growing up, and I'm the musical dud of the family. Like I can do it, but not nearly at the level that my brother and sister are opera singers, and my other sisters, they're piano masters. I will call them piano masters because they are, and they're just all so talented. So
wow.
I am too, but not the same as them.
Well, you can still play though, so you're not necessarily.
I do, and it's good for me. Like I do it for me, and it is good for me, and it's fun.
Oh, well, that's awesome. I used to play piano a tiny bit and played the clarinet, and that's pretty much the
awesome
capabilities. So.
Yeah, well, I see everyone being multi-craftual, and I'm like, well, it's just cross stitch when it comes to crafting. I mean, I did the scrapbook thing too, right? But that was ages ago. But I'm like, I have like other things, but they're not in the same realm as cross stitch.
Well, and I'm right there with you. Well, cross stitch is also very time consuming and a very expensive-ish type of hobby.
It can be, for sure.
Yeah. So I wanted to get into, quilting and other things. And No, I just want to focus on cross stitch and just,
Yeah. Yep.
call it good. So,
I'm with you there.
yeah. Okay. This is one of my favorites. I'm very curious on this one. Is how would your friends describe you?
Oh, they'd say I'm crazy, but like a good crazy,
A good
maybe
crazy?
like fun crazy. I want to say I'm not wild. I am so vanilla. It's ridiculous. I mean, your perfect day, or what would you do for your day? And I say swimming. I mean that, but I just say the craziest things. I have in my head. Just I don't know if you ever saw. Oops, yank that down. I don't know if you ever saw the cartoon Bobby's World. It's an old cartoon.
Yeah, I remember.
And basically he just has these, like, people say things and in his brain he sees like a visual of it, and it's just the most absurd version of what they said. And it's me, like, if there's two ways to take something, I'll take it the way that is not supposed to be taken, and that's just my brain, that's just me. So I say a lot of crazy things and have crazy ideas, but like good crazy, not, I mean, I also do have mental health issues, but I don't mean it that way. I mean, that's just a separate thing.
Well, no, good, crazy, fun. You think outside of the box. You say
Yes.
kind of what you want to say and get it out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm honest. I'm very honest. That's another thing they'd probably say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are all good traits. Very, very good traits. So
I'll just keep tooting my own horn.
as you should. So
Thank you. Yes.
so get back into stitching a tiny bit, and it's
Yeah.
how do you prefer to stitch? Do you use a hoop, a Q-snap, a frame, that kind of stuff?
Just in hand. I just stitch in
Oh,
hand.
Okay.
I mean, when my mom taught me, she had me with a little hoop, but since I've started this year, like real stitching, I've never used anything. I just like to manipulate it with my hand, basically.
That's
Yeah.
impressive. Yeah.
I don't know.
I can't do in hand. So anybody that says they stitch in hand impresses me. So.
Yeah. Well, okay, but here's the thing. Okay, so when you're like, I grab it, right? So this is like what my hand looks like. And I've been playing volleyball again, which I forgot to mention that. That's one of my hobbies. And I'm the setter, and like this finger's weak. So I have to tape this finger now, and I think it's a stitch related injury.
Oh, it could be.
Isn't that funny? A stitch related injury affecting my volleyball. Oh, I love it though. I just tape it
around, but
I know. Well, and I'm left-handed. That's the other thing. So I stitch and I hold it with, yeah.
So I stitch left-handed and I hold it in my right hand. So
yeah,
I have a stitch related injury here until I get, holding the Q-snap.
Yeah.
Get pain.
I think my shoulder too, from like, and because sometimes you get on the couch and there's a cushion there, and then we don't talk enough about these stitch related injuries.
That is true.
We're tough guys out there.
Forum of stitch related injuries, because I'm sure there are some. But that's cool. I didn't realize that you were left-handed.
Yes,
so that makes it even more special. Because
we are.
Do you have a preferred fabric that you typically stitch on, or are you kind of just whatever?
I love Aida. I do love Aida. I don't know. I'm still trying different materials. I like 25 count Lugana. I've used a full yard of that up now since I've been stitching, and I just started on linen. I started a piece yesterday on linen, which I've never stitched on before, and it's so tricky because some of the lines are so tight I can't tell, and then once the stitch is in, you can usually tell that it's not right. But I think I just like Aida or 25 count Lugana, I'd say.
I'm Aida all the way. I've not even really ever tried anything else. So
no, it's like I did because like everyone's talking about everything. So I'm like, okay, I'm new. I'm going to try it. And then I'm like, well, Aida's fine. And I like it.
Yeah. I couldn't see myself with linen. Like you said, if you're going to put the stitches in and then you see that it's not right. Oh, wait.
It's Mew.
Oh.
She likes to make appearances here and there.
She's gorgeous.
Whenever I show her, she always puts her ears back like she's annoyed, but how does she know she's on the video? Oh, maybe.
Yeah, that's funny. Could be, but yeah. So I was saying with linen, I think I would get annoyed with putting the stitches in and then seeing if they were like wonky or not right. I don't have the patience for that. So
no,
I just
I don't blame you.
And I can just whip stuff out and be good. So
yep, exactly. There's such good variety too with it. Yeah. You know what you like and you can just use it.
Exactly.
We're not, what is it? Java Girl Stitches says, don't be an Aida hater.
Yeah.
Or someone said it and she reinforced it.
Yeah, I actually have a little card because I go Acorns and Threads in Portland, Oregon is my LNS, even though
That's your,
it's
yeah.
and one of the ladies that works there had made cards up because she's an Ada only stitcher, and so
Right.
the Ada Gangsta
I
on the
love it.
card. It's so cool.
So good.
So, yep, don't be an Ada Hater, and there's Ada Gangstas
Yep.
out there. So,
Yep.
very cool. So where is your favorite place that you've traveled, and did you bring stitching along when you went?
So because I've only been stitching with the pandemic going on, no, I have not brought my stitching with me when I've traveled. But so we actually just 2 weeks, we were supposed to leave 2 weeks after we got put on lockdown for Scotland, which was like our big trip, Scotland, Ireland. My husband and I had been planning it for years. We finally booked our flights and everything, and that was canceled. So that probably would have been my favorite trip. We'll still go on that one. But I would have to say I went to Victoria, British Columbia with my sister, 2018, I want to say. And it's just beautiful there. Just beautiful. And I have a real love for whales. That's my favorite creature, I will say, is
what whale, what number was it?
J35.
There you go.
Taliqua. My favorite whale. That's my favorite whale, yes. And so I didn't get to go whale watching because we were only there for a short time, but it's just so beautiful. My aunt lives there and she knows everything about the city. She took us on the most amazing tour, and she's her and my other aunt actually, who lives in Toronto, they're huge art lovers. So we went and saw the Montreal Ballet. They were performing, what is his name? He just passed away. The Hallelujah guy.
Oh, I don't know.
He passed away maybe 3 years ago. Oh, shoot. Well, anyways,
it was underneath one.
We'll put it in the man that, and anyways, it was just beautiful. Like, she got us tickets to go see that, and like and free art as well. There's so much free art to see out there, both in Toronto and Victoria. And my aunts know, and they took us on the tour of everything. And anyways, Victoria, British Columbia, that's my favorite. I've only been on a plane like 3 times in my life, and they've all been in the last few years. So my honeymoon was my first time on an airplane.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm real basic. I've said it. I'm the homebody. I love
I don't blame
everything around me. I don't know.
I don't blame you. I've heard that Victoria is really beautiful, and someday my husband keeps talking about us getting like our enhanced driver's license, because we live in Washington State, so it's not too far to drive up into Canada. And so
you're so close.
Do that. Yeah.
Someone that lived in Victoria, one of my aunt's friends, she's like, it's beautiful here. She's like, some people call it God's little waiting room, because I guess it's a lot of old people that live there. Like, it's more of a retirement city versus Vancouver, right? Which is like very young and hip. And so that's God's little waiting room. So Victoria, it's just so morbid, but I love a good morbid joke.
I love that though. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I totally would have, if I would have thought about it before asking the question, and we already had the conversation that you just started stitching. So I don't know why.
Yeah, no, but that's okay. Because I mean, maybe I took a little detour. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm a bad girl and I'm going to tell you about my bad travel I shouldn't be doing.
During COVID. There are people that do it. So
yes.
So the next question is, what can you not do without for your stitching? Like your favorite go-to must-have besides the basics?
Like I want to say a needle minder, but is that the basics?
No.
I need a needle minder. I lose it. I lose the needle. So many times I lose the needle. It's bad. People have been stabbed in this house. It's always in the couch. It's bad. I have a lot of needle minders now, or I say a lot. I have a good amount, and I use them because
good.
I'll put it down and it's gone, and I haven't moved. I put it in. I think I put it down. I don't remember. My brain. It's like my phone. I put my phone down somewhere, and I'm like, where did it go? I don't know where it is. Yeah. So the needle minder is clutch for me.
Yeah. Well,
everything else I can be basic. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. I know I need more. Well, and I use a Q-snap, so you can't really, there's not really a place to put the needle if you just,
Right. It's tight. Yeah.
Yeah. Needle minders work perfectly. So.
Yeah.
The next one is, how do you decide on what you're going to work on next for your projects?
what I like or what I want to do. I mean, that didn't really work out for me this year. As we know, I'm a rookie stitcher. So I was like, and then when it's December, I'll start my Christmas stuff. And I'm like, what was I thinking? Because that's not enough time. But I did enjoy stitching during the season, stitching seasonal stuff during the season. But in terms of having things finished in time, it will change how I choose to do things now that I know better.
A little bit ahead of
but
time.
It's just like, I think Rolodex Stitcher said the flutter, you feel the flutter, and that's how she chooses, and that's how I am too. I want to love what I'm working on, and I don't want it to feel like work or not enjoyable. If it's not enjoyable, then why am I doing it? So
Right. Yeah.
It's what excites me, I guess. And I guess that's how some people end up with like 100 whips, because they follow that flutter, and that's fine too.
Yeah.
It's not a job, it's a hobby, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to finish it all.
That is true.
But when I see the whip parades, I told Elizabeth Ann can stitch this. I was like, I want to be a project manager for people's cross stitch. And I'll be like, okay, you just need 100 more stitches on this. Let's get that done. And then we can not scratch that off the list. I just want to scratch things off the list.
You need a project manager, because I try to stitch the seasonal, but a little bit ahead of it.
Yeah.
So I display all my stuff.
Yeah.
But it gets to be a challenge because, life is in the way, and
it does.
Consuming, and there's a lot to it. So
yeah.
Project manager.
You just follow the flutters. Yeah.
That could be another new hobby for you. You could put out there that you'd be a stitching project manager for people.
Yes. Oh, hire me, please. You'll get your whips done. I'll whip you into whip shape.
I'm sure that you would be very busy. I'm sure there are many, many people that would love that.
Yes. It's just the list, right? I feel compelled to scratch things off lists. And
yeah, that's true. Do you do any of like the whip goes or any of the groups or anything?
No, I don't have enough. I don't think I think I have maybe 4 or 5 whips total.
Okay.
So I don't know. I started something new yesterday, but other than that, I finished most of the things that I started. But again, I'm still so new. So give me a few years and it'll build up, I'm sure.
Well, I don't even know if it'll take a few years, maybe like another year of watching FlossTube.
Yeah.
I was like, what? I just have to start all these things.
Yeah.
So, all right. We are down to the very last question, and I say it in every interview, but it is my most favorite question. And this will be an interesting one because it's what's the best thing that's happened to you so far this year? And
so is that 2020 or 2021?
That's what I was saying is I'm thinking that we should still be thinking 2020.
Okay, let's include, I'll include it up to January, whatever of 2020, but not January 1st, 2nd, 3rd, or 4th of 2020. They're not included.
I'm so new right now.
Yeah, I think the best thing, Toronto, in Ontario, I should say. But we saw it second night that it was, the second night. And then it was only a few weeks later that it got shut down. And tickets were extremely difficult to come by. So a lot of people didn't get to see it because there weren't tickets. And then the people that did have tickets still didn't get to see it because it was shut down a few weeks later. So I went with my mom and my husband, and it was fabulous. And it's top of my Spotify, because Spotify tells you what you've listened to. That was the best thing, was being able to go. And we didn't actually win the tickets in the lottery or whatever. It was my brother and sister-in-law. They won it. Oh. But they moved and they couldn't go. So they gave me a ticket because I do their photos, and they were really sweet about that, because I always do their family photos whenever they're in town. And they were like, well, thanks for doing our photos. Here's the ticket. So yeah.
Very cool.
Probably that. Probably the other thing would be all the family time I'm getting right now. I don't necessarily appreciate it so much day to day, but I know that I will look back on this time and just love all the Uno games and all the Switch playing and the boys running around. And I will appreciate that. That's probably the best thing that happened in the year as well, is just being able to be together.
More family time. I think that's the same for me, because my kids are older. And because, schools were closed, they've been home.
Yeah, you got that extra time, right? I think of it as extra time, because they'd be at school otherwise, and I wouldn't see them as much. They have their own worlds, and it's okay for them to have their own worlds. My kids are pretty young still, but they're in grade 2, and senior kindergarten is what we have here. Oh, there's one right now. They were in the basement. They were told they were not allowed to leave the basement, but they've done a pretty good
That
job.
was cute. Oh,
Okay, well, there's the other one. Okay, go on, guys. I'll miss these days, right?
all right.
I don't like keep their identities like super hidden, but like I do like just privacy for them. That's why I'm like, I haven't like shown them on FlossTube, but maybe at a distance I've shown like a picture or two, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's not.
Yeah.
Yes. So yes, the kids, being extra time with the kids, love them.
That was kind of funny, the timing of
It
all
was
that.
good timing. Yeah.
So, so that is the end of our interview. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to spend with me, answer questions, and kind of hang out a little bit. I do appreciate
Thank you so
that.
much for having me. This was so fun.
It was a blast.
You're gonna have your work cut out for you with the editing.
Well, we'll say bye to everybody on FlossTube.
Yes. Thanks, Becca. Bye, FlossTube.
Bye.
Thanks for watching, everyone.